All right, welcome back to GenXCollect. This is going to be the first official full-blown video for opening up an entire box. As you can probably tell, I'm pretty new at this, so if you want to come on and join the adventure, we can learn about this together. I really don't have any preference of any particular set. I'm actually collecting quite a few right now. But Renditions is probably right now the biggest set I'm collecting. I'm actually almost done with it, but I did want to get one last box before I completed it out. I was actually started off back, a couple months back in the Marvel Spider-Man trading ones. These were a Target exclusive. Beautiful set. It brought me back into the hobby, and it just kind of exploded from there. As you, you may not have even watched the previous video, but I was talking about how I was actually a collector back in the 90s, and it kind of fell out of it for a while, and then really didn't see anything that I wanted to collect for a very long time. However, I was looking, and when I got back, and I rediscovered this hobby, I just kind of fell in love with it again, and as I said, it exploded from there. So let's go ahead and open up Marvel Renditions. Now this set, I really did not, when I first saw it, I remember seeing it at a store and, online and stuff, I was like, I don't even know if this is going to be a set that I'll like. I am, however, a huge Spider-Man fan. Always been my favorite. You can't go wrong with, someone who smack talks while, everything around them is, blowing up. So I decided to go ahead and give this one a try, and I tell you, from the first pack opening, I was just blown away with the art on these things. It's what I really wanted to get out of it. I enjoy seeing the art itself and all of the new things that they're doing since back when I was first collecting. But let me stop jabbering on and just go ahead and get to it. So let's go ahead and start opening this box up. Alright, so Marvel Renditions. I'm not going to bore you with all of the details, as I'm sure many of you that are watching these videos already know all of them. If not, I can always add them later, but for now we're just going to go ahead and crack these open because I have been dying to open some packs lately. Alright, I'm always I'm real try to be careful with these things because I just know that one of these days I'm going to get a little too quick with them, and then I am going to end up messing something up. So that is not what I want to see happen. So let's go ahead and take a look. Go ahead and move some of these other boxes out of the way. Slide this over. Put that guy there, put this here. Alright. I'll tell you, one of the things that always threw me for a loop when I first started doing this is this. Why do they put this in here? I don't remember. Maybe I just don't remember them, but I don't remember that ever being a thing. Alright, now from the Venom was always one of my favorites too. But yeah, even the packs themselves, just the artwork that they put on these. And I know some of these other series, even some of the other ones I collect, they're not original artwork, but they're just as nice. But I do love a good set that is full of original artwork. I think my first set when I was collecting back in the day was Marvel Masterpieces 92, I believe. Yeah, I'm not going to try to age myself. But let's go ahead and start getting these things open. Yeah, these things open so easy. I know back in the day, those wax packs, man, those things would fight you a little bit. Alright, I guess we'll just put that there. Alright, we got Lasher. I don't know if you've noticed this thing. I started using these things. I tell you, these things are pretty nice. I use them for sorting, and I ended up thinking I may as well just use them while I'm doing it to kind of make it out. Look at that. All right, let's get back to it. I start rambling sometimes. You'll get used to it if you end up watching my videos. Sinister Syndicate. Oh wow, look at that. God, that is a nice one. I love the way that looks. I mean, just... And of course it's a Spidey. Spidey's always going to be my favorite. Spidey, Venom, all that. I used to collect them non-stop. Alright, we're going to go ahead and just sit you there. Robbie Reyes. Yeah, we're just going to go all over the place. I don't have all that fancy, the maneuvers I see people do. As cool as it is, I'm just like, I'm usually too busy staring at the art itself to worry about that. Look at that. Oh yeah, that's one of the cover cards. Electro. I guess we'll put, yeah, let's do this. Let's not get too crazy. We'll just put them by type for now. How about that? Regular Impel. That was one thing I was blown away by that they do now that they did not do when I was growing up, is there are so many subsets. I mean, I swear, I remember I used to be able to go out and buy a box with my friends and you could get an entire base set out of it. That is not the case anymore. There are so many subs and parallels, and I mean, that was one of the things I was blown away with. Is we didn't really have a lot of that, and now it's just like you got, you know, I didn't even know what a parallel was when I got back into the, well, when I got back into the hobby, and it took me a little while to get used to it. God, look at this. This pack just did not want to open correctly, and I do not want to mess this thing up. All right. Yeah, that pack just kind of fell apart on me. All right. Agony. I mean, look at the art on those things, and these the new foils they do with stuff that is just beautiful. Yeah. Mysterio. That's Black Cat. Black Cat, actually, a lot of people don't really like her. I loved Black Cat. My the storyline that I collected, Carnage, was a really good series, but the story that I collected back in the day in the comics was right around the time that Spider-Man had the clone saga, and I was like, oh, by the end of that saga, I was kind of done for a while, and then, you know, I went off and joined the military and all that good stuff, and life kind of got in the way, but it is what it is. Captain America, that's an Impel. Ooh, look at that, got another. It's funny, some of these, there we go, 38 of 299. What was this one? Did I even see a number on that? 361 of 399. Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh. Alright, well, sorry about that. We had some kind of difficulty there. This camera decided to freeze up on me, so we'll just go ahead and continue where we were. I believe I was talking about the different colors. That's of $3.99, and this is of $2.99. I do love the way these new cards look. I mean, the texture in that. That's a beautiful card. But let's go ahead and get to hit nice and safe in here. So far we got 2 numbers. I don't remember if there's a set of ones that they guarantee per box, but I got 2 Spider-Man ones. Well, I guess it's going to be a lot of Spider-Man, seeing how it's rendition Spider-Mans. But Jessica Jones, it's a regular, and Scorpion. I bet you that one. I bet you that card would be gorgeous in that orange. Color match. But alright. On to the next pack. Kingpin. Yeah, look at that. I mean, look at the drawing. That is just not an ugly card at all. Another canvas cover. Iron Spider. This was Civil War. Look at that. Another Kingpin. This time Impel. Look at that. Two different art styles. See, we got an orange poking out through there. Ooh, the corner box ones. I think the corner box is the only ones I haven't completed yet. These things are a giant pain. Yeah, look at that. Look at all those subsets. Good lord. Look at that Firestar. That's kind of pretty in orange. Look at that. Actually, that's... I'd say that's a color match, right? I don't think they have a red card. What is it? 12 of $2.99? Yeah, that's pretty. Let's go ahead and get you in a sleeve. Yeah, she's pretty. Alright. The Lizard. Carrion. Alright, next pack. Not too bad. We got three numbered already. So it might not be too bad of a box. I think what, some series out there, the average is 4 numbered? Look at that. Renditions Wolverine. I mean, that is a great color scheme for that. Always a fan. And there's my boy Spider-Man. Love it. Look at that. Trying not to talk too much about these. I know when I'm watching videos, I just kind of like seeing what they're doing. Got another Kingpin. This time it's the legendary play game. Put that over there. Spider Slayer and Scheme Twist. Very nice. On to the next. Guess I need to speed up a little bit, huh? These videos are going to be way too long if I keep jabbering on like this. I don't know. I enjoy it, so y'all can always fast forward as well. I just figured if I'm going to be opening these things anyways, why not share them since I enjoy watching other people open them. Look at that. That is a good Venom. I can't remember if this, there was some kind of legal issue where they couldn't actually write Spider-Man or something like that in this series, but that's a shame. This is such a good set. This is actually going to be one of those sets that I'm kind of sad to complete. I mean, it'd be cool to move on to the next one, but I did really enjoy this set. Thor. Oh, got another trading card game one, it looks like. Yep. Yeah, I can appreciate the trading card games. I just never really got into them. Iron Fist. And then there's the... I did really enjoy the original Black Suit series. I've got a bunch of those comics around somewhere. Well, not somewhere. I've got them all labeled and organized, but it's not something I really crack open all that often. I had the pleasure of being one of those teenagers that would ride his bicycle to the comic book shop with his friends and pick up some comics and cards, and we'd head home and open everything up. It's good times, good memories. Daredevil, he was always really cool. I always thought he was a lot like Spider-Man. I wonder, I should look up who came first. Iron Spider. Look at that. Oh, got 2 of those. Canvas. Green Goblin. Oh wow, look at that one. What is that? Is that a 1 of 1? No way. Oh, okay, that's a 6 of 10. I was gonna say, I've yet, in all the cards I've collected, I have not gotten a 1 on 1 on anything, but look at that. What is that? Craven Brown. That's actually my first Craven. That is beautiful. Let's get that into a sleeve before I get too crazy. Yeah, this box has been really good. Craven Brown. Look at that. All right. Got my first Craven Brown, and it's a Venom. I really like that a lot. 6 of 10. That is nice. Actually, I could really like that as a background for him, too. That is a good catch right there. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Got the Craven Brown, and then I got the normal. Y'all probably saw it before I did. Yeah, I got the card for it right below it. Isn't that funny? Alright. And then good old Jonah Jameson. Alright. Moving on to the next pick. Yeah, that's crazy. That's a really good first Craven. And I've opened a lot of boxes of these too. Alright, Carnage. Electro. Peter Parker. Comic covers. Civil War. That was when he took his mask off. I remember being really upset about that. Nimrod. Right, another corner. These are the ones I'm trying to get the most of, since I don't have. It's the only. I think I'm missing like 2 or 3. And then I'll have this one complete. Another Carnage. Another Nova. Well, I say another because I have it already, but that is fine and dandy. I've been sitting on this box probably for about 4 months now, so it's nice to finally be able to open it. Right. Venom. Oh, got a little sparkly back there. Venom. Yeah, that's a interesting looking Hulk. Look at that. What is that? Is that a Ghost Spider? Yeah, Ghost Spider, $1.99, 31. Yeah, it's actually been a really good box. Let's go ahead and move this out of the way. Yeah. All right. Probably notice I talk to myself a lot too, so get used to that. It'll be alright though. Firestar. I remember first getting introduced to her in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Very old cartoon. Look at that. That is a beautiful. I was going through some of my old cards, reorganizing them and whatnot, and I found my old McFarlane series. I was always a fan of McFarlane's Spider-Mans. That's a beautiful set. If you've not ever seen it, take a look sometime because it's very worth the look. All right. Take a look, Vulture. And we may have to make another Make some more room for that. Ghost Rider. That is nice. That is actually the base to the Ghost Spider that we got earlier. It's amazing. You know, back when I collected, you had normals and you had holograms, and that was it. So a lot of this new stuff is really nice to look at. Dark Phoenix. Oh wow, another orange. Carnage too. What was that? 76 of 299. Wow, look at that. That is nice looking. Wow, this box has been very fruitful. Let's go ahead and get you protected. Guess we'll put you there. We still got 3 packs left. We got a lot of hits so far. Green Goblin. Good old Spidey. Yeah, that's crazy. These packs just kind of fall apart. Just make sure I don't mess any of these corners up. Alright, Venom. Looks like this is going to be a trading card game pack. Spider-Woman. Canvas cover, Choosing Sides. Civil Wars. Black Bolt. Iron Spider. Trading card. Another Kingpin. Chameleon. He was always an interesting character. He kind of spent a lot of time ruining old Spidey's life. I guess you can kind of say that for all of them, though, yeah? Alright. Let's take a look. Alright, another Kingpin. Another Mysterio. Looks like another trading card game. This one's a canvas, obviously. Felt a little thick there for a second. Electro. Captain America. Green Goblin. And Iron Man. Alright, last pack. Let's see what we got. I imagine it can't be much more, as much as this box has already given me. Would have been nice to get a one-on-one, you know? Or one of one. Got that, what, 1 of 10, I think that one was? Let's see what we got for the last pack. Spider-Man. It's the match for that green one. Cloak and Dagger. Man, I remember they were new. I actually have some of their first ones. Cloak and Dagger. Got a Doc Ock canvas. Got an Electra. Impel. Oh, wow. Wow, we got another special, huh? Korvac. This is a 51 of 90, so this is a parallel for you guys. I think these have a special name too. What are they? A Verve? Yeah, parallel Verve. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Alright, another special. And we got Carnage and Lizard. Yeah, that was pretty good. I mean, Got a nice amount of specials out of this one. A Korvac, a Spidey, some oranges. And then we got that Craven Brown. And a Ghost Spider. Yeah, that's not a bad little haul for a single box. Alright, well, thank you for joining me. Hope y'all have a wonderful day and see you on the next one.